Et salut YouTube, et du coup on est reparti pour la suite de Sumeru le désert. Et il faut chercher un papy d'un gamin. J'ai oublié l'histoire.
Did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
Ah et voilà.
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots.
Ah non, faut pas manger les
Shouldn't go
champignons.
around eating that kind of stuff.
Ah oui, non, faut pas manger. C'est caca.
Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
D'accord, et il se barre. Bah bonne journée à toi, connard. Non mais oh, malpolish. C'est honteux. Malheur, les machines.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real
Putain,
fighter.
calmez-vous, madame, calmez-vous. Ça va bien se passer, personne va vous taper.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what
Vous
goes
êtes trop
on at night.
stressé, Shani.
Honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Esau.
Hello there.
You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost friend,
General
right?
Kenobi.
He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Je sais pas pourquoi, j'ai soudainement pensé que c'est vrai qu'il y a un nouveau Pokémon qui doit sortir bientôt. J'ai plus la date. Et surtout, apparemment, va peut-être y avoir probablement un DLC à Elden Ring. Et ça... Bon, j'ai pas fini Elden Ring, mais
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough
alors,
more.
pas un DLC collab Elden Ring Pokémon. Quoique ça serait drôle. Combattre des...
Oh, thank you.
Ouais, putain,
Thank
combattre
you for
à
taking
des
care of
Pokémon
him.
de vraie taille et tout.
It was nothing. Hey, you're
Un
looking
gros
for him, right?
fleurisard.
Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
Ah mais c'est bon, le vieux il est perdu dans le désert, il est crevé depuis
once you
longtemps.
found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what a nice guy. Okay, thank you, sir.
Merci monsieur, ouais. Ah, qu'est-ce qu'il a lui?
Don't say anything for now.
Bon d'accord.
Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Début de la quête. Ok. Sino. Il est où? Il est là. Allez. J'ai marché un petit peu. J'ai joué un petit
See
peu.
if you can make out what they're saying.
C'est bon.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take a turn for the better?
Une belle moustache.
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Oh, ça va chier les cacahuètes.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Oh, mais c'est peut-être pas la peine de terroriser la population non plus.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's
Oh,
something
bro.
else. Just look at his eyes.
Ah yeah,
One wrong
bro.
move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match
Peut-être que
for
viens
this
monter un
guy.
groupe djihadiste dans le désert, ça va faire la
Okay, good
guerre.
sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well,
Elle super bien
I
en fermant
only
la
know
bouche.
a few
Oui, non, mais il y en a
things from
beaucoup qui
hearsay.
sont ventriloques.
I
Hein.
went for a drink the
Beaucoup.
other day and heard
Beaucoup
others
trop.
talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Beaucoup. Beaucoup, beaucoup.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Je crois qu'il déteste surtout l'influence de Camille, non?
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
Heureusement que nous n'avons pas ses ennemis. On pourrait devenir.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
En plus pour ne pas attirer ses foudres.
I heard that.
Parce qu'il est électro en plus. Jeu de mots.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places.
On peut pas aller dans le désert plutôt?
Very well.
Oh non, pas le gamin.
I'm here.
Where's
Oh,
your
no.
grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Oh non. Attention, un peu de gameplay. Attends, je me redresse, on joue. Attention, hein. Chronométré, ça va pas durer longtemps.
Grandpa, oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Parce que c'était pas ton vrai papy? C'est un peu glauque, gamin. Ah, voilà.
Well, this is where grandpa usually stays.
Ah mais c'est un clodo en fait.
There sure isn't much here.
Tu m'as décrit pas bien Mésine. Ah, cette odeur, mais ça pue la mort. Ah non, une odeur d'encens, pardon.
No.
Mais ça sent la merde.
Please don't say it's the same one as before.
Ah, c'est bien ça.
But are you
C'est
okay?
la merde.
Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No. No need.
J'ai du mal avec cette odeur.
Did you first
J'aime pas le
encounter
caca.
this scent at Tainari's house?
Non, c'était une odeur dans une forêt avec laquelle s'entraînait une chercheuse.
In the forest. From a scholar.
Continuez de chercher des indices. Les indices. Les indices. L'entertainment, s'il vous plaît. Cherchez les indices. Ah oui, on a notre vue Assassin's Creed, c'est vrai que je l'avais pas précisé, mais je l'utilise jamais moi. Parce que ça sert pas à grand chose. Observez la tente. On dirait que quelqu'un a vécu ici tout ce temps. Super. Observez les marchandises. À l'intérieur se trouvent toutes sortes d'objets de tous les jours. Et tout.
Oh, where did Grandpa go?
Ah d'accord. C'est quoi ça sur le chemin? Rien, une planche. Ah bah il a trouvé un truc. Ta main est finie.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here. From the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
Quelqu'un d'autre est venu ici?
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
La pâtée?
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
Là, plus loin pâté ou n'importe qui pourrait te ferrer comme un poisson.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Pour faire revivre le roi squelette, là, le roi écarlate. Selon les sirènes et les succubes qui abattent des hommes.
Are the rumors
Ah mais là, je pense pas qu'il y en
true?
ait. Pas le moment.
Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Non, non, non.
Please,
Pas de politique, pas de politique, on a dit. On parle pas des radicaux.
Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
Non, pourquoi pas partir à la recherche directe?
We'll set off to find the scholars.
Moi je veux aller à la recherche directe. Je veux aller dans le désert, je veux pas retourner au village. Attendez, on va prendre le TP. Regardez, mais il y a une immense zone. Enfin, immense. Ah, elle est moins grande que celle d'avant. Et au final, on est dans une cahute, dans une rue de village. Je vous en suis.
Right. The darker fabric
Ah non.
definitely looks a lot better.
Oh, persifleur.
That'd be my choice too.
We're back, Candace. We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too.
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful?
Faut raconter à persifleur et
I
Deia
see.
que machin.
So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia, you're amazing! You really know this place inside and out.
On peut l'entendre coder à Etchek, tu as raison de sortir de Munich et de demander Etchek. Ah là là là, revenons au jeu, revenons au jeu. Fais un clin d'œil. Tu veux dire qu'il faudrait que je ne pose pas de questions?
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering
Elle me drague?
intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Mais madame...
Let's head out.
Now
On te fait
hold
des clins
on,
d'œil
you're
maintenant,
staying right here,
machine.
Sino.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out.
Je veux
The
changer de
desert is
zone.
unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you,
Pas que dans le
mercs
désert que
like
tu
me are
survis en
just
faisant des
third-rate
connexions.
amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of.
Et aussi
But that
l'administration
also makes it
française.
a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust.
Oui, il est choqué.
I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
J'ai chaud.
Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Oh, il y a Meshman qui nous écoutait. Le vilain Meshman. Rendez-vous quoi à la caravane?
Sino, please don't take offense. I'm sure Dia just wants to help everyone solve their problem as quickly as possible. That's why she can be so straightforward at times.
I don't mind.
Ah, I see. Well, from the way you were staring out into the distance, I thought you might have been mulling over Dia's words.
No, I'm used to being treated that way. It's natural to fear strength. I take no objection to it.
Ah, j'espère qu'on... Ah, Madame Persifleur, pitié, j'espère qu'on vous recroisera plus, hein, parce que... Putain, c'est pas agréable. Je se fous de ma gueule. Et on a une immense jaune et je reviens constamment en arrière. Envie de crever. Envie de...
Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Ouais.
I'm amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Est-ce que c'est une référence avec le mur Non, on va pas aller plus loin. C'est le fameux gameplay en backtracking.
It
C'est
was only after
ça,
I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru
Les gens
is
comme
run
nous,
by
c'est-à-dire
wise and mighty sages. To them,
C'est
us
les
desert
dames un petit peu
dwellers are nothing
frivoles
but
ou
tools that can be used and
celles avec
discarded
des
at
oreilles de
their
chat?
whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control.
Oh,
Nothing more.
tout de
Even if a
suite.
child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving.
Oui.
Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate, even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Il sera peut-être détruit dans une thématique.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh.
Shut up!
Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Moi je veux aller dans le désert. Moi il veut pas retourner dans la forêt. Moi il veut aller dans le désert. Donner des indices auprès des connaissances.
No time to lose.
Et après on va dans le désert.
Just
Putain,
our
j'ai joué,
luck.
j'ai
None
joué
of 'em are
30
here
secondes.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a
Ouais.
coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Je trouvais qu'avant c'était mieux
Oh,
équilibré entre
and
les
who do you have
dialogues
with you here?
et le
Guests from
gameplay.
another land?
Là, on a surtout du dialogue. Hein. On va pas se mentir. Bonjour, bonjour.
Hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
Ah ouais, quand même.
We've had drinks together a
Ah,
few
le drinking
times.
buddy,
You could
quoi.
say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as
Ah,
my
je suis un
friends here,
copain
they
alcoolo.
aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any
Ah,
outlanders
on
so
s'est mis
friendly
bien
and
deux,
respectful
3 fois la
nowadays.
tête à l'envers, elle et moi.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days
Ah, il est
ago.
alcoolique, ouais.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Entre cul.
Ah,
Voilà.
how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard
Non, mais
time
il
making ends
est
meet
bourré,
these
là.
days.
Il a une voix,
So,
il
you
il a
came
une voix
here to help him
d'ivrogne.
out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together?
Bah, le jeu qu'a
Besides,
lagué.
Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
De façon habile, traité de pachetran.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Viens à la maison. Rendez-vous indiqué. Ah oui, on repart dans le bon sens. Oui, on retourne vers le désert. Regardez, je joue. Regardez. C'est beau. C'est beau, le jeu me l'a joué. Allez, attention, on profite. Ah, ça y est, c'est fini.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
Oh, ça va être un
This
connard.
place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Ah ouais. Ça sent le traquenard. Oh, je vais pouvoir jouer.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Ah putain, ils ont pris 8 ans à comprendre.
Ah, what's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there.
J'ai compté 16 secondes de
Not
jeu.
only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
Non, mais on les défonce.
You left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Ah, c'est Meshman.
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Oh le... oh, le doubleur il a tout donné
I
là.
thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Ah non, non, laissez parler
Gee, what a
Mashman.
missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors.
Il sait même pas de jouer.
Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking. Get him.
Ah. Ah ça y est. Non.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Et la cinématique. Non, je pense pas. Ah ouais, ouais, il nous l'a joué, yes. Sauf que comme mes persos ils sont up à fond, bah on va les défoncer en 2-2. Non, il y aura plusieurs vagues, je suis sûr qu'il y aura plusieurs vagues.
Bring it on.
Impossible. How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop.
Il y a pas eu
I'm
plusieurs
guessing your
vagues.
informant told
Il y
you that
avait
I'm
qu'une
just an
seule vague.
incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others.
Non, j'ai
That's
pas
what you
compté, mais ça
thought,
fait moins de 16
right?
secondes cette fois. Ouais, non, ça m'étonnerait pas, ouais.
Lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough
Ah
to
mais
fall
au
for it.
cumulé,
I figured as
peut-être
much
que là
the
sur
first time
la...
we drank together.
Sur la dernière
You all
demi-heure,
thought
on
you
a
were
joué
so
30
smart.
secondes.
Pathetic.
Et ça c'est beau.
Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Et honnêtement, je trouve que cliquer sur l'unique ligne de dialogue possible, c'est un petit peu du gameplay aussi. Ça devrait compter dans le temps total. Parce que à quoi bon cliquer sur la seule proposition? C'est juste pour te faire dire, regardez, réveille-toi. Il faut cliquer pour que ça continue.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Engar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Engar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Engar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
Du gameplay visuel. Du visual novel, certes. Et l'escroc barbu.
That's what you
Qui est
wanted
l'escroc
to
barbu?
ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert for ya?
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora.
Oh.
And that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does
Ça va,
that
c'est pas ta
bother
meilleure
you?
amie non plus. Ouais, vous n'êtes pas comme ça.
What
Vous êtes
makes you
quelqu'un de
so
bien.
sure?
Même quand vous n'avez pas d'employeur, vous agissez quand même.
Uh,
Vous êtes d'une belle personne.
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
you two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand.
Ah non.
Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Ah, j'ai cru que j'allais jouer. Pourquoi Paimon cherche à savoir qui est radical, qui ne l'est pas, elle fait des listings pour la police secrète du parti. Ah, Moi, on m'a perdu, moi, putain. J'ai même pas le droit de jouer. On s'est TP. Il me laisse même pas me téléporter moi-même.
Alright. I'll be in touch.
J'ai l'impression
Until
d'être...
then, please stand by.
d'être Louis de Funès dans le gendarme en balade. Laissez-moi laver la voiture.
I trust her, so you can too.
Je la salirai.
She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
Ah oui.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler.
On parie que ça va être juste faites passer le temps.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Oh non, pas comme ça. Pas attendez le lendemain. Espionner, comment ça?
You heard the question. Now answer me.
Tu as parlé, enculé!
Candace is an expert at dealing with people like this. All we have to do is wait for her word.
Attention, attendre le lendemain matin 6 midi. Voilà. Voilà. Bim bim bim. Voilà.
Hey, Dia.
Ouais, j'ai gagné.
Right on time.
Vous avez obtenu des résultats?
We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well.
Un grand moment de gameplay. Ouais. Non, après, en vrai, l'ouverture, enfin l'invocation de personnage est un peu plus marrante, on va dire. Mais là, il n'y a pas de perso qui m'intéresse. Je crois que la semaine prochaine, avec la prochaine mage, il y en a une que je pourrais éventuellement.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Ouais,
Come on in, everyone.
Je vais leur arracher les ongles un par un. Oh! Attendez, on me laisse cliquer sur F. Ah non, je me suis trompé. La panique. Voilà, j'ai paniqué, on m'a laissé jouer, j'ai mal cliqué. Voilà, F. My bad. C'était génial.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Oh non, elle
Do
va...
I? Huh. What gave it away?
Ah, non, ça
Oh,
va.
there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure.
En même temps, c'est pas facile de cliquer sur F.
It's perfectly
Mais non, mais j'ai mis ce
understandable
clic,
why I'm
c'est le
angry.
micro, je voyais plus.
I'm sure everyone present would agree.
L'excitation était telle que je ne savais plus où cliquer, c'était insane.
We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
Persifleur est devenu une pro.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count
Il n'y
them
a pas
as
beaucoup de bleu pour
family.
quelqu'un qui s'est fait tabasser toute la nuit, c'est vrai.
To my village.
Ah, mais c'était de la violence psychologique.
Stepping stones towards your goal.
Ah, de la torture psychologique.
What would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have
Regarde,
mercy!
regarde, ils sont terrorisés.
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand.
Elle leur a dit des mots en S en boucle.
The resurrection
Ils étaient là en
of the
mode
Scarlet King
non,
will
non,
only result in war,
arrêtez, non.
and war
Ça
serves
sature,
no
ça
one.
sature.
The people of Aru village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life.
Ça c'est bien
A
vrai.
war
Ça.
would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll
Parce
tell
que
you everything I know.
réfléchis.
Please, just let us go.
I'm
Let
listening.
us go, let it go.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Vous
They
sacrifiez
give
des
their
vieux
life,
fous,
and
vous.
we can get anything we wish for.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Where are they?
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Attention, hein.
Wait,
Papa,
I'm
il
telling
compte
you
jusqu'à
the truth.
3.
We don't know anything. It was all him.
Attention. 1. 2.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Je vais aller dans le désert? Vraiment? Ah non. As-tu une identité des...
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way.
J'ai regardé le final de Odd
That
et c'est
guy,
intense.
he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
Bon, par
he calls
contre,
himself
niveau...
the Scarlet King's envoy.
Niveau numérique, effets spéciaux, c'était pas... Bon.
Uncle Anpu.
C'était mieux que d'habitude, on va dire.
What do you mean?
Donc ils ont ressuscité la... Ils ont sacrifié la police pour ressusciter le roi rouge, Carl. Oh non. Qu'est-ce qui se repasse?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia. Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
Ah, la méchante académie. Ça avait dit que l'académie avait répandu des rumeurs sur la résurrection du roi des
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
Pourquoi ils ont appelé ça les gardiens du village?
Tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in
Les
their
vieux
plans
fous.
likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isaka's still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
On va partir.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
I'm ready.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Oh non. Oh non. Quittez la maison.
What scheme is the academia brewing now?
Aïnira est magnifique. Dommage qu'il y ait toujours du corps. La fin m'a fait vraiment halluciner. C'est vrai que la fin est pas mal. Je pensais pas que ça allait couper si tôt, on va dire.
Thinking about the village.
Yes. I'd look for them myself if I
Oui,
could.
oui,
You have
bon,
a strong... Dia, don't say that.
Thanks.
Mais je pensais aussi qu'on allait voir les Stark. Et pas du tout. Du coup, ça sera dans la saison 2. Winterfell. Il faudra attendre la saison 2.
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway?
En fait, on fait un petit bout de trajet avec chacun des personnages. Oui, d'accord.
Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions.
Oh.
I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Vas-y.
Never
Ah,
mind!
c'est un échec.
Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter,
Ah oui.
yes?
Ah oui, oui, oui.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere.
Oui.
Enough with the silent treatment!
Vous êtes en train de donner du temps pour réfléchir?
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Ah, ça s'envoie des pics.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone.
But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing?
En même temps, tout le monde les déteste, donc forcément, ça envoie des flics.
In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
Ce qui est bien aussi, c'est quand même, il change les cadres, c'est pas des plans fixes sur le personnage qui parle, parce que putain, ça serait l'angoisse sinon. Mais c'est un truc que tu retrouves pas assez dans les jeux vidéo, je trouve. Les changements de plans, les cadres un peu particuliers. Ça veut dire que les indices se trouvent auprès des gens que nous avons rencontrés. Je reparle aux gens.
There's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself.
Et il lui a dit.
As for why she might be so wary about all this.
L'animation 3D, c'est intéressant de faire les effets caméra qui tournent autour des personnages. Les évolutions sur la 3D entre 2010 et 2020 ont été phénoménales et ça continue de s'améliorer. Oui, mais tu prends par exemple Assassin's Creed, ils auraient les moyens de faire des vues un peu différentes comme ça pendant les dialogues et c'est arrivé très très tard et un peu timidement, voire beaucoup timidement. Oui. Ah oui, la madame. Je voulais juste aller dans le désert.
As we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh?
Aïe, Hydra.
What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want.
Comment Ubisoft n'essaie pas de faire des trucs, les bras m'en tombent. Ah, ils auraient pu le faire en DLC.
May I call you Traveler?
Oui, oui, madame. Évidemment, madame.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something.
Ah, regardez, il y a les pyramides dans le fond.
Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
Regardez, il y a les pyramides. Du haut de ces pyramides, 3 siècles nous convainc.
Why is that?
Parce que cela amènerait la guerre.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Oula, non. Vous avez entendu parler de la réforme des retraites? Je ne peux pas vous le promettre, mais j'y travaille. Il y a un truc bizarre qui sort de la pyramide inversée. Oui, oui, mais comme le jeu veut pas qu'on s'y approche, on ira voir avant la fin. Que l'histoire nous y emmène ou pas, on ira voir. Parce que là, j'en ai ras le cul. Ah, j'ai plutôt l'impression que ça rentre dans les pyramides, que ça ne sort.
I want to trust you. My apologies for
Ils ont pas
posing
animé la
questions
porte.
like that.
La porte n'avait pas
To be
d'animation
honest,
d'ouverture.
I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Ah.
Them told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
Mhm.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Al-Haytham.
Il aurait pu le dire lui-même, hein.
I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
Mais c'est pas un fantôme. Ça vient de la pyramide. Allons à la pyramide.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Ah. Allons faire un tour. Oui.
Yeah, let's go.
Oui. Oui. Oui, on change d'endroit. Bon, on va 5 mètres plus loin, mais on change d'endroit, quoi. Je voulais aller par là, il nous envoie par là. Attendez, on va aller par là. Petit temps. Attends, il y a une zone sympa en dessous. Je veux voir la pyramide. Let me see the pyramide. Est-ce qu'on peut finalement y accéder? Oui, j'ai l'impression. Ah oui, il y a un truc bizarre. Il y a un truc bizarre au milieu. Bon, par contre, tu sens qu'au-delà, c'est pas vraiment atteignable. Hein. Attendez, on va aller voir la pyramide. Hein. Alors évidemment, il y a plein de coffres, il y a plein de petits défis. Mais comme il y en a trop, moi j'utilise la map interactive pour cocher ce que j'ai déjà fait, sinon j'oublie. Et c'est insupportable. On va prendre déjà la carte. Enfin, débloquer la map. Je suis la carte, je suis la carte. Tac tac tac. Ouais, t'as des trucs du désert. De grosses refs musicales. Ah mais... Et encore, je trouve que là, pour l'instant, les musiques sont pas exceptionnelles. Ah, y a un petit style, hein, quand même. Hein. On va pas se mentir. Ah, on m'attaque. Il y a une tornade de poussière là-bas. C'est la pyramide de Stargate SG1, je la reconnais. C'est une série qui m'a jamais regardé, ne serait-ce qu'un épisode en entier de Stargate, je crois. Alors je connais les bases, hein, les Goa'uld, etc. Mais je crois que un épisode du début à la fin, j'ai pas dû en voir. Ah, c'est plus grand et c'est plus loin que ce que je pensais. Alors ça c'est un... Ah oui. Bon, on débloque la carte. Ah bah c'est le mausolée du roi. Alpha Mozo roi. Ah d'accord. Ça c'est un boss. Un mini-boss. Ah oui, 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 non. On peut utiliser un... Pourquoi? Où est l'intérêt? Non mais c'est beau quand même. Ah, c'est là que le vieux disparu va résister Karl Marx. Alors, faut pas spoiler, spoil pas, spoil pas. C'est honteux. Ah, on a le droit à un panorama. Ah, le panorama est plus inquiétant que... Ah non. Ah non, en fait, c'est... Non, non, c'est vraiment inquiétant. Pas pour la miniature, ça. Hein. Ah, ça, c'est direct miniature, ça. On peut rentrer tout de suite? Je pense pas. Je spoil pas, j'analyse et j'ai mis une hypothèse. Faut spoiler, il faut que je connaisse. Ouais, je sais bien. Je sais bien, je sais bien. Je pense pas que le vieux soit dans le... Ah, ça me rappelle... Ça me rappelle Udune dans WoW. Bon, ça rappelle surtout l'Égypte antique, mais... Bon, la porte est fermée, on rentrera pas comme ça. On va aller à l'hôpital. On va peut-être bientôt arrêter. Ça va faire 3 heures. Hein. J'attends de savoir si on va se taper 40 minutes de dialogue ou pas. Je pense que ouais, je pense que le vieux c'est surtout la victime. Après bon, est-ce qu'ils vont faire sacrifier le vieux? Il faut quand même que penser que c'est un vieux avec le gamin. Si le vieux il meurt, le gamin il va nous casser les couilles. Je pense qu'on va sauver le vieux. Il y a peut-être d'autres vieux qui vont mourir. Allez, vas-y, vas-y, oui. J'ai peur. Ah ouais. Tac. Donc c'est ça l'hôpital abandonné?
Oh,
J'ai raté mon entrée fracassante. Il est pas du tout tiré dans la bonne direction. Je le déteste. Voilà. Hop.
Illusion shattered.
It's showtime. Allez, on bourre. J'aime beaucoup les musiques de combat. Mais elles durent pas longtemps parce que les combats durent pas longtemps. Salut Lorient, ça va et toi? Tu t'attendais quelque chose... Quel genre d'adversaire?
Super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one.
Moi ça m'arrange, j'en ai pas dans l'équipe. Ok, la porte s'est ouverte.
Wow. Let's go in and take a
Wow.
look.
T'as vu le super tournoi? Alors j'ai pas vu les résultats. Mais oui, j'ai vu un peu toute l'organisation, on va dire.
Patience. Shawnee
Attends,
says she only hears the crying at
attention,
night.
hein, vous avez des tonneaux
We have time
explosifs
to
juste à
burn.
côté.
Until then,
Attendez monsieur. Hein.
I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Oui, non mais je parlais du tournoi Twitter, t'inquiète. Non mais quand je disais organisation, c'était tout l'enchaînement de tweets, les photos, les trucs comme ça. Putain, les guillemets dans les guillemets. C'est technique, hein.
Natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh?
Ultra long, en fait. En effet.
External influences, every entity displays the tendency to
Ah, elle parle encore trop près du micro, Germaine. Oh, ta gueule.
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up.
Ah, tu fais sur Insta aussi? Ah, les deux. Oh là là. Et les résultats sont à peu près identiques entre Insta et Twitter ou pas? Ouais. Il y a un côté citation du Conseil d'État avec ses guillemets. Ah, il faut que tu te cultives pour gagner de l'argent et t'occuper de moi. Vous vous souvenez de l'époque, au début, il y a 2 heures, où on avait cinématique toutes les 5 minutes? C'était le bon temps, hein. Et qu'il y avait un petit peu d'épicness. Et de toute façon, moins de votants sur Insta. Ah. Les Instagrammeurs aiment pas voter. Ce n'est rien. J'ai pas écouté. Oula. Ah oui, on y reste longtemps. Dans la jungle, terrible jungle. Le lion est mort ce soir.
What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
T'es en train de me...
But there's no way we can get down there.
Vous aviez pas vu la putain de trappe?
Something is off about the interior here.
Mais vous êtes complètement con. Mais...
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Oh mais ta gueule, c'était une trappe.
It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Attendez. Et pourquoi il me met à remettre dehors? Si, je vais faire... voilà, je fais sauter la baraque. Éliminer cet élémentaire autour de l'hôpital. Ok. Ah oui, d'accord. Alors. On prend lui, on le change avec elle.
Everything's ready. Let's go.
Super Charmel. Et du coup, on tire. Ça active le bidoule. Ah. On a une là-bas, mais elle est bloquée. Pourquoi? Ah, voilà. Parce qu'il y a un peu de gameplay. Parce que des fois il y a des petites énigmes quand même. Hein. Ah bah je l'avais pas vu venir celle-là.
Orders given. Orders received.
Torn to oblivion.
C'est bon. Disons qu'il y a un monde d'écart entre expliquer au joueur et le prendre pour un con, et qu'on est clairement dans le second cas. Ah là, ouais, un petit peu quand même. Bon, la dernière stèle. Elle est où? Elle est en haut? Oui. Je t'en supplie, monte. Il y a des gros pigeons. Ça a été tellement rapide. Ah, entrer dans l'étage inférieur de l'hôpital. Bon, je vais garder quand même elle, parce que je sens qu'il va falloir du dendro, là. Et hop, saute là-dedans, machine. Patient, Abbas, homme 23 ans. Il a un grain de beauté sur le côté. On va le foutre. Hein. Et c'est quoi ça? Une tige noire dans le goulot, les mots pour Avine, d'accord. Ah.
Look, there's someone over there.
Restons prudents. Niquons-lui sa gueule.
Good idea.
Good idea. Ouais, tuons-le.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
Mais alors comment est-il devenu comme ça?
Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner.
Il a entendu qu'Elysée me demandait de déclencher le 49.3.
The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, je l'imagine tellement répondre le Oh mais non, c'est de la triche, c'est un bout d'une cinématique qu'on a déjà vue.
Oh, now that
Ça compte pas. Hein.
they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this.
Elle est derrière tout, en
It isn't
fait.
difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's
Je m'attendais à plus long comme
resurrection,
phrase.
emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the
Il y a
academia.
3 fois le même dessin.
All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's
2 fois
followers.
celui-là et 3 fois l'autre.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
Le pourquoi à chaque fois qu'il parle du roi écarlate, il y a aussi la version roi d'Eshret, je sais pas. Je crois que oui, c'était... La version française s'est dit non mais ça va peut-être perdre les gens. Donc on va mettre les deux. Et ça apparaissait aussi dans d'autres quêtes. D'autres quêtes où il y avait des fois plusieurs termes qui étaient utilisés pour le même personnage. Ils faisaient ça aussi. Ils prennent un peu vraiment les gens pour des cons, mais...
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
C'est vrai que ça... C'est louche. Comment il connaît ça?
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
Non, c'était passé. La plupart des chercheurs qui ont perdu la tête ont été... Je pourrais même dire que ces connaissances sont aussi liées au fatui et à d'autres... et sont utilisées pour transformer en divinité. Bah, celle-là, j'ai eu le temps de lire. Je connais ça parce que c'est lui qui fait les lobotomies. Ah, il y a un peu de ça, il est un peu louche, hein. L'Académie a besoin de gens qui ont été en contact avec la conscience divine.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit.
Moi, je l'aime bien comme
Extracting
personnage.
canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
Motivation particulière et personnelle.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Il rejette la notion de responsabilité morale et accepte que l'on puisse agir radicalement pour son propre intérêt. Peut-être que cela vaut mieux d'avoir quelqu'un comme ça de son côté.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a
Il est
while.
plus intéressant que les autres personnages en plus.
There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that.
Quand même le genre de personnage qui n'a aucune difficulté à trahir le groupe. Ah ça oui. Ah. Ça me fait penser que j'ai très hâte que sorte enfin Baldur's Gate 3 parce que là, niveau trahison, groupe, intrigue, etc. ça va être autre chose. En fait, comment on faire de lui? Ah. Ah non, il est pas si méchant. Oh non. Pourquoi? On s'amusait tellement bien et là tu gâches tout le jeu, tu me ramènes dans ce village de mort.
I am the man.
Pourquoi? Pourquoi tu me fais ça?
No time to lose.
Allez hop. Trahison, j'avais prévenu.
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
Ah, puis le retour de Persifleur.
What's the situation?
Ah, c'est la merde.
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were
Bonne
headed to
nuit,
the
Métro.
village,
Bon courage pour demain.
almost as if they knew we were on their trail.
De toute façon,
Why is that?
arrêtez dans pas longtemps non plus, je pense que la quête est presque finie là.
Why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst.
Le fun arrivera la prochaine fois, j'en ai
One of
peur.
us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
On a vécu une petite aventure avec chacun des 3 personnages principaux. Celle qui saute, c'est une secondaire, on va dire,
Looks
pas une
like none of you
principale.
have realized wherein lies the issue.
C'est quelque chose?
Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
Exactement.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
L'endroit où Sino vient tout juste de se rendre.
Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going.
Tu es devenu intelligente, Paimon.
I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
Oh, ta gueule, le gamin.
You want to go too? If so,
Je suis en train de
you have to
m'affaisser dans mon
promise you'll stay
fauteuil.
safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
D'accord.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you! Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Retrouver Sino. Non mais la quête elle est finie là. Non? C'est un truc avec l'hôpital. Attendez, quoi? Ah si, je pense que là...
No time to lose.
Non, arrête de grimper partout, je t'en conjure. Non, je... Oui. Voilà, oui.
So, where do we go from here?
Vous vous souvenez par où vous êtes passé?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
Je pense que ça va bientôt être la fin là.
Desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
Cherche pas la petite bête, Paimon.
Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there, it looks like it's buried really deep.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Vous déterrez un autre dispositif à proximité.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kinda scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Non, il est mort.
Don't worry.
Papy est mort.
Grandpa's gonna be fine.
Terminé pour lui.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Ah, je suis du même avis.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Mais la quête va s'arrêter. Elle va s'arrêter un jour.
But running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
C'est moi où il marchait...
Of course it is.
Il marche pas sur le sol. Enfin, il court pas sur le sol. C'est moi où le sol il est pas palpable.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you... Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Ouais, qu'il est con.
Huh? Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself, I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Nice.
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land,
Ils font tous des abdos dans le désert. Hein.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the academia. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Lui,
Do
niquer sa
you
gueule.
really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum! Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
Mais carrément.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
Alors casser la gueule.
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Ah, on casse la gueule, hein. On se ralentit.
Stop!
Mais trop tard, le coup il est parti, hein.
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Oh, la transition buisson qui a un peu raté. Ça c'est triste.
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
Ça se tient. Salut Sarsax. Je m'inquiète pour vous.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt
Ça
it,
va.
Sino.
On se
But this is
tape des
about more than
dialogues
me and them. There's a lot more
et
where they
quoi,
came
30
from.
secondes de gameplay.
Even if we
Toutes
got rid
les
of
40
one
minutes de
bunch of
dialogue,
rebels,
mais
there are others out there.
ça
Wiping them
va.
out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
Ils ont un petit peu... Je trouve qu'ils dosent de moins en moins bien les parties dialogue, gameplay. C'est un peu dommage.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself?
Il est toujours comme ça.
Okay, let's get moving. We should head
Oh, no.
back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
Oh non, pas encore le village. Rentrez tous au village pour vous reposer. Quelles sont vos chances de réussite? Est-ce que tout ira bien? Tout est encore incertain. Secret du désert brûlant. Ah d'accord, ça s'arrête comme ça, cette quête-là. Et ensuite, faut attendre. Ah, visiblement, ça sera la fin. Ça sera la toute dernière partie de ce chapitre 3. Ah non, mais là, on va le faire une prochaine fois, ça, malheureusement. Parce que ça va prendre 8 ans. Ça va prendre une éternité, hélas. Je pense qu'on fera ça la prochaine fois. Parce que là, ça fait déjà... Ouais, ça fait 3h15. À découper en deux pour... Ah, la dernière partie est rapide? Tu confirmes que la dernière partie est rapide? Genre quoi, 30 minutes? 30-40 minutes pour la dernière partie? Ah, si c'est 30-40 minutes, ça va, hein. Ah, tu sais pas. On peut le tenter, on peut le tenter. Allez. Alors, entre 6 et 8 heures du jour suivant. Vrop. Mais dans mes souvenirs, c'est pas long. Ah, j'ai 1 milliard de retard, malheureusement, pour... D'habitude, je suis toujours à... Toujours dans les temps pour Genshin, mais alors là... Sumeru, j'ai tellement de retard. Initiez-vous à l'entrée du village. Hop là.
No time to lose.
Hop.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Everybody,
Dear,
let's
wait.
go.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood?
J'ai fini 3 jours après
I'll
la
be
sortie de
very
la quête.
upset with you.
Donc ça va, oui, ça va.
Fine.
C'est quand? C'est la semaine prochaine, la suite? De mémoire. Ah bien, d'accord. Ah oui, tout là-bas, quoi. J'attends juste Naïda Mallory. Moi, j'aime beaucoup le perso Dendro épéiste. J'ai plus son nom, là. Celui qui est dans le groupe. Mais il est pas prêt de sortir, visiblement. Je vais peut-être craquer la semaine prochaine pour l'Archon Dendro. Mais à voir le gameplay. À voir si vraiment le gameplay est bon. Oui voilà, Ailton. Mais ne t'inquiète pas, je ne sais pas le prononcer, je ne sais pas l'écrire. Je l'appelle juste le mec Dendro de l'académie. C'est terrible. Absolument terrible. C'est pour ça, moi, je suis impatient d'avoir la région de Fontaine, où on va avoir des noms bien franchouillards, qui seront faciles à prononcer. J'attends que ça. Parce que, putain, c'est infernal. Ok, on est dans la bonne direction. Et voilà, c'est Robert, c'est Xavier. Il y avait eu un perso de Fontaine à Inazuma qui s'appelle Xavier. La petit scarabée là. T'es dans le désert depuis trop longtemps. Mais je sais qu'en tout cas le prochain perso qu'il faut que je prenne c'est un perso d'Endro parce que ça manque dans l'équipe. Et ne serait-ce que pour les défis ça va être plus facile en extérieur et tout. Hop.
No time to lose.
Voilà. Moi j'ai juste 2 objectifs. Attendez, le groupe est là-bas. Niveau vœux. Ah oui. Attendez, si. Ah, attends. Vraie cinématique? Non. Cinématique du dialogue.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Et juste 2 vœux, niveau vœux, c'est d'avoir tous les 4 étoiles. Ah oui. Je sais pas s'il m'en manque, moi. Après, j'ai jamais mis d'argent dans le jeu. Full free to play depuis le début. J'économise.
Bring him over.
Ah, c'est Poppy.
Why is there only one of them?
Les autres sont
Come
morts.
on. I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my part. Don't you think you've asked enough?
You stay right there!
Ah. Ah, le combat. Non.
What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Un verre des sables. Oui d'accord, carrément.
Paimon's dizzy.
Du coup, il passe dans la bannière. Et deuxième objectif, c'est d'avoir tous mes persos 70 plus leur vœu bleu. C'est ce qui me tue de rire dans la cinématique, c'est que le perso utilise des armes une étoile. Ouais, non mais ça. Ne serait-ce que le perso qu'on incarne, il se trimballe avec sa vieille arme de merde depuis le début. Je sais pas, faites une quête qui d'office te donne une arme mieux que ça, parce que là, vraiment, c'est la misère, quoi. Que tout le monde va bien? On est tombé dans le sable. Sauf Sino, je crois que Sino il utilise vraiment son arme 5 étoiles.
What a nuisance. The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body.
Certainement, ouais. Vous me croyez maintenant?
The Dendro Archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no. He's getting confused again.
Hey, look around.
Grand-père est confus, c'est très efficace.
Did there used to be a temple here?
Oui, la Shogun aussi, c'est vrai que oui, elle l'utilisait, ouais. Ils sont plus enclins à mettre les armes 5 étoiles sur les lances et les armes d'ast.
The symbols on the gate belong to the Scarlet King's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise the Scarlet King!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Après, c'est les connards. Hein.
Mind your head.
Comment le voyager a pu battre la Raiden avec une arme et une étoile alors qu'elle était avec son arme et la signature. Ah, c'est une arme en scénarium.
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
Et du coup, j'ai vu le trailer de la prochaine mage et oui, le voyageur va encore combattre des trucs de ouf avec son arme de merde.
Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of the Scarlet King's civilization appear. Two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. The Scarlet King will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
Entrez dans les ruines mystérieuses. Ah, du coup, il y a un grand trou maintenant. Ah oui, d'accord. Ça veut du feu, visiblement. On va quand même caler un petit pyro, on sait jamais. Ah oui, tiens, je voulais voir. Est-ce que j'avais tous les 4 étoiles? Non. Ah, putain, j'étais persuadé d'avoir Thomas. Mais non. Elle, oui, d'accord. Lui aussi, pareil. Et elle, comme j'ai pas invoqué depuis longtemps, c'est vrai que oui. Évidemment. Évidemment, évidemment. Même Casual a une cinématique pour son arme 4 étoiles, faut m'expliquer là. Ouais, non, mais j'ai l'impression que c'est quand quand c'est les... Ah, voilà, oh putain. C'est quand ça les arrange. Oh oui, j'ai eu du mal à la sortir celle-là. C'est le bientôt 1h moins 10. Ah, cinématique. Ah, quoique, non, c'est une fausse cinématique.
It's full of life here.
Je me suis fait niquer.
This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside.
Ça dépasse l'entendement.
Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Raman.
Huh? Me?
Do you see another Raman here?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
Interpret it however you want, but there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from the Scarlet King civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kinda strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
Oui, bon, l'inverse m'aurait étonné qu'on n'ait pas exploré un petit peu. Oula. D'accord. J'allais dire, des énigmes à cette heure-là. Il faut regarder la salle comme un mortel et écouter les conseils sacrés du roi des chouettes. Oui, bah, faut tourner jusqu'à ce que... Oui. Oui, voilà. Moi, si c'est que ça... Ça va. Oui. Ah oui. Ah, tout de même.
Wheel of life.
There is no escape.
Ah, les ennemis volants, si c'est pas les pires ennemis du jeu. Ah, il y avait des carottes et des radis, d'accord. Attends, il tombe. Hein? Et ah, il tombe en bas. Attends, il est où? Il est sur le truc en haut.
Shine down.
Verdict is...
Hop là. Ça c'est fait. C'est de toute beauté. C'est pas clair ce qu'il y a derrière. Ah, le retour de jeu des portes. Oh comment... Oh comment j'ai mindé le jeu. Ouais.
No time to lose.
Illusion shattered.
Go.
Et le dernier. Je crois que l'ascenseur est parti sans moi. C'est pas grave, il y a un coffre. Si l'ascenseur était pas parti sans moi, j'aurais pas eu le coffre. Allez, remonte. Ah, il est en train de tomber dans le fauteuil. Ok, un autre combat, évidemment.
Rise.
Shine down.
Ha! Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. Who's next?
Hop là. Ah oui. Je me disais... Après 6 jours à infiltrer le temple, je comprends enfin les tours de passe-passe des prêtres. L'ascenseur descendra jusqu'au sol, il faut monter dessus avant qu'il ne recommence à monter. Attends, what? L'ascenseur descendra, il faut monter dessus avant qu'il ne recommence à monter pour atteindre le dôme. Il faut monter dessus. Comment ça? C'est parce que d'accord. Monter dessus. Ah si. Ok, je comprends. Ok, faut que je monte, que je le fasse redescendre tout seul, que je plane jusqu'à lui. Est-ce que je peux faire redescendre tout seul? Oui. Ok, oui. Bah non. Hein? Ah, c'est pas du tout ça. Ah oui, là c'est raté. Ah si, ok. Ok. Je l'ai, cette fois-ci je l'ai. On fait redescendre et ensuite on le refait monter et oui. Oh, Il y a tout le monde, j'ai besoin d'aide, dit juste help. Non mais c'est bon. C'est bon. Là je le fais descendre et au moment où il remonte je saute dessus. Et j'avais la bonne strat, mais pas dans le bon ordre. Attaque. Donc là il remonte, je saute dessus et je vais être en haut. Voilà. Non mais là à 1 heure, bon. Il faut du temps. Jugez pas. Je viens de finir de calculer les points, demain va y avoir du sang. Ah. Du coup Albron il a toujours perdu? Que j'avais vu de ce que t'avais mis... Et moi les trucs comme ça, moi ça me frustre toujours. C'est jamais ceux que je veux qui gagnent, alors du coup ça m'énerve. The One Ring ils en avaient fait, South Park ils en avaient fait aussi. Moi j'étais au bout de ma vie. À chaque fois c'est pas les bons. Ok, je ferme des trucs. Oh non. Ok, donc ok, celui-là ça bouge. Et celui-là ça bouge quoi? Ça bouge les trois? Hein? Attends, ça je ferme. Ah oui d'accord. Non. Pourquoi il y en a un qui continue à tourner? Il tourne automatiquement? Oui d'accord. Donc là je ferme. Et là j'attends. Ok. I get it. Là il va me monter. Il va jusqu'où là? Ah d'accord.
Oh, now that's a sight to see. The Scarlet King's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of the Scarlet King.
Insta 69-65 pour du 1 et Twitter 950. Ah oui, c'est un peu moins, oui. C'est un peu moins serré en effet. Oh! Oh!
It's getting brighter. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
C'est beau. Est-ce qu'on considère que c'est une... Non.
What's that?
Une statue.
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
Il dirait qu'il s'agit d'un tombeau. Le tombeau sera votre tombeau.
These are Scarlet King runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient Scarlet King script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from the Scarlet King's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes.
Un duel hyper serré entre
However,
Bronwyn
under
et
the
Durand.
circumstances,
Du coup,
I prefer
dure
you to see
un
this for
3 ou
yourself.
4.
You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. The Scarlet King brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping the Scarlet King to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
La musique qui s'arrête d'un coup.
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Ah oui, le 3. L'autre a gagné contre Alban. Oui. Et du coup, tu l'as fait quoi en mode c'est toi qui décidais qui tu mettais contre
So
qui
the former
ou...
Dendro Archon and the Scarlet King were never enemies at all.
But
Non, il parle d'un...
doesn't make any
on va dire,
sense. The Dendro Archon's followers.
d'un vote Twitter sur les personnages de la série Seigneur des Anneaux et les Anneaux de Pouvoir.
Dendro Archon?
Ah, aléatoire, d'accord.
He became so tiny in the end.
Ton humour est à ses sujets, mais il a fallu beaucoup d'efforts pour éliminer... Ok, et c'est une des unités de leurs pires ennemis, sans doute qu'ils partageaient le même sort.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt the Scarlet King's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of the Scarlet King all gathered in Aru village. Our God did not make mistakes. We
D'accord, j'ai
refuse to
entré les noms et
believe
j'ai lancé
any
le
of the
générateur.
rumors.
D'accord. Hmm.
The Scarlet King's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. It was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Rahman, that's enough. Give it a rest.
Enough.
You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what are we even fighting for?
On peut visiter vos visites du temple, c'est normal après tout croyant aurait eu du mal à accepter qu'il vient
Hey,
d'apprendre.
how you doing?
Ah, visiblement, ça va pas fort. Hein.
I'll live. Thanks.
Et pourquoi il a un cache-œil?
I should probably go. I can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're
Il a un
doing.
cache-œil juste pour faire style.
I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for. But please, give me some time.
Oh non!
After everything
Vous
that's
avez pas le
happened here
droit.
today, somehow I need to explain it to
Les voix en
the
anglais
others.
sont des fois pas mal. Moi j'aime bien les voix en anglais d'une manière générale. De toute façon, je
Well, I guess
comprends.
that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's
Fais semblant.
located.
Enlève ton cache-œil.
Make a note of it.
J'ai du mal à regarder ou à jouer à un jeu auquel je ne comprends absolument pas la langue et je ne comprends absolument ni le chinois, ni le japonais, ni...
And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Rahman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in the Scarlet King. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice, long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow. Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
J'allais dire, j'ai même pas le droit de visiter un peu? Ah quand même, il y a un minimum. J'ai pas le droit de monter là. Ouais bon, visiblement il n'y a pas grand chose à visiter d'autre. C'est marrant, moi c'est quand je lis, je préfère en anglais. Ah ouais d'accord. Ah non, ouais. Par contre, avoir les deux, je suis quand même obligé d'avoir les sous-titres français. Quand même. Donc si j'ai... Ah, peut-être... Oh non, on va pas prendre de TP. Putain, tout là-bas. Oh là là. On va faire ça. Là, j'imagine qu'on approche de la fin. De la vraie fin définitive. Avant mercredi de la semaine prochaine. Il me semble. Hein.
No time to lose.
Toujours aussi bonne, hein, les musiques dans Genshin Impact. Là, la petite vibe égyptienne, j'aime beaucoup dans les musiques. Donne tes dates de live. Voilà, alors tout de suite c'est un peu tous les jours, mais alors ça dépend. Genshin Impact, j'en joue le soir. Oui, c'est vrai que j'ai pas vu. T'avais dit le message. Oh le con! Oups. C'est pas grave. On va lui donner un point pancake. Mais de toute façon demain mardi ça sera plutôt fin de matinée midi, mais ça sera sur du Seigneur des Anneaux, l'ombre de la guerre. Je pense pas que... À la limite Genshin ça pourrait être jeudi soir. Peut-être un petit Genshin jeudi soir ou vendredi soir. Sachant que du coup, qu'est-ce qu'il me reste? Il me reste la quête à lui à finir que j'ai commencé. Plus les 3 autres. De toute façon que celui-là, j'ai il est un petit peu en retard, on va dire, sur cette quête-là, mais... Non, c'est vrai que j'ai pas utilisé la résine. Je fais les quêtes... Le Battle Pass, j'ai arrêté de m'en préoccuper. J'ai jamais pris de Battle Pass, mais même la version gratuite, c'est vrai que je fais les quêtes quotidiennes, le minerai, et puis généralement c'est marrant. On ne demande pas d'être un tryharder. Ah, il y a une époque je faisais aussi la résine. Hein. De toute façon les persos que j'utilise sont maxés à fond, je crois. Il y a peut-être une ou deux compétences qui est pas au tiers max.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh, c'est tête de gardien du village.
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you.
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no. Make it quick, please.
Putain, ils sont vite en stress, hein.
The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turn pale like they've seen a ghost.
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why?
Tu confesses ta résine pour les boss ou les donjons, je veux bien venir, je m'ennuie un peu, le Denou connaît pas. Non, là, de toute façon, après ça, je vais arrêter
You know what I'm really asking.
Pour aujourd'hui. Ça fait déjà bientôt 4 heures, dans 8 minutes ça va faire 4 heures qu'on est en live. Il fallait que je prenne 1 heure pour écrire le script de la prochaine vidéo et je ne l'ai pas fait, honte à moi. J'espère qu'Elroyer n'est plus là parce que sinon elle me fait engueuler. Mais laissez-moi faire, d'accord? Be my guest. Be my guest. Les sages veulent créer une divinité, n'est-ce pas?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right.
The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zebzerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
Mais dans ce cas, ce que les sages ont créé, ce n'est pas le même, mais ce que...
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
Avant ça, ils n'ont jamais pris l'académie au sérieux. Mais j'imagine qu'une divinité puisse vivre quelque chose d'aussi cruel.
Alright, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Raman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
Ce moment de flottement. Retourne à la maison du chef du village. Oh putain, le fameux chef du village. On va avoir tapé les 4 heures de live, hein. Encore une fois. Au secours.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy.
Après tout ce que vous montrez à Esney, c'est pas étonnant. Après avoir tant donné et tout sacrifié, le Rani Kazelani a été abandonné par l'Académie dans le sanctuaire. Ceux qui protègent n'ont pas la pensée que sur cette terre il y avait encore cette divinité. Ok.
Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something else.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh, Paimon's so coming with you.
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
J'aimerais d'abord partager ce que je sais avec vous.
So you were still withholding some information?
Non, mais il y a encore des choses dont je n'étais pas sûr. Profitant du silence, Candace et Payman apportent de thé et de quoi grignoter. Leia semble détendue comme si ce sujet plutôt difficile ne l'avait pas affecté. Sino affiche un air solennel et il semble avoir pris une décision. Le fondement de ses convictions, sa poursuite. Quant à la Time, il tend l'oreille pour vous écouter. Puis vous racontez tout du début jusqu'à la fin, vous exposez en détail tout ce que vous avez vu et ressenti à Sumeru ainsi que les secrets que vous avez découverts, en partageant toutes ces... Voilà tout ce qu'on a vécu à Sumeru.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it to continue.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Et dans la prochaine mise à jour.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
Ah bah voilà. Impeccable. Alors lui il bouquine.
Don't rush. This is a big undertaking, and the planning and preparation for what lies ahead will no doubt take some time. Take it slowly. We need to make sure the plan is as effective as possible.
He's starting to read his book again. Hey, are you even listening?
Would you like me to lend you something to read?
No way. Your books aren't quite to Paimon's tastes.
I was joking. I know my books are far too difficult for you, and I have no intention of lending them out.
Ugh, you're so annoying.
Par contre, faudrait qu'il apprenne à mettre sa cape correctement. Ça va se voir au final. Non, pas elle. Parce que les qu'elle nous balance sans arrêt, c'est insupportable. C'est si grave 4 heures de live. Oh non, j'ai l'habitude.
In the past, I never imagined that even the gods could suffer from hardship. If we can find a way to change all of this, will this nation become a better place?
Oula, c'est très philosophique. Ah oui, puis ça... oui, d'accord.
The past few days have been some of the most challenging work I've ever taken on. And none of it'll earn me a single mora. I can't believe it.
Look on the bright side, Dia. Maybe we'll get a huge reward after this is all over.
You've got a point. Hey, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow with more money than you could ever spend?
Paimon would buy boatloads of tasty snacks.
That's it?
Ça me rappelle que j'ai faim.
And maybe some tasty drinks as well?
How adorable.
Que manger des amandes, ça va me caler.
Here's to all our indulgent fantasies. If there's a chance they can come true, I'll give it my best shot. And here's hoping that everything we do from now on will change this world for the better.
Ouais, il y a les vieux, mais les vieux, est-ce qu'ils parlent? Ouais, non. Non mais c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. Eh oui, oui. Et nous, que c'est... Assurément... Tout à fait, oui, tout à fait. Bon alors, qu'est-ce qu'elle nous dit, Germaine? Allez, on va quand même l'écouter.
You must let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Though I cannot leave Aru Village, I can't help but feel stirred when I see the looks in your eyes. I've never felt as roused as this when fighting alone in the past.
On
I suppose this
persifleur.
must be the power of camaraderie.
Pourquoi ils lui ont fait parler si près du micro ou un micro si mal Évidemment, quand vous parlez près du micro, ça s'entend beaucoup. Mais si vous éloignez le micro ou que vous le réglez mieux, il n'y a plus de problème. Enfin bon. Putain, il y a 2 quêtes ici. Pas de sable. On va disperser les tas de sable. Donc c'est ça. Non, c'est pas ça. Une route sans amis. C'est ça qu'il fallait qu'on continue. Non? Ou la recherche d'élimination. Je sais plus. Bref. Bref. Donc en tout cas, on a fini. Alors c'était quoi? C'était la 3.1? Ce qui va sortir bientôt est la 3.2. Donc la 3.1 est finie. Plus qu'à attendre un petit peu pour avoir la suite de l'histoire. Avec le fameux gros combat de boss dont on a vu le trailer. Donc j'ai hâte. J'ai hâte de voir ce que va donner la 3.2. Ça peut envoyer du lourd. Et du coup, demain, voilà, aux alentours de 11h, 11h30, ça sera de l'ombre de la guerre. À chaque fois, je veux dire l'ombre du Mordor, mais non, c'est l'ombre de la guerre. Et plus... Alors, qu'est-ce qui est prévu comme VOD demain sur la chaîne? Sur la chaîne des replays? Qu'est-ce que j'avais dit? Je ne sais plus.
I wonder what the rest of the Harbingers are up to. Plotting and scheming on an ever grander scale, no doubt.
Qu'est-ce qui est prévu demain? Rien. Ah oui, j'hésitais entre un replay de l'Outro, celui où on faisait n'importe quoi sur Fallout 3, ou alors la suite de l'ombre de la guerre. Ou du Genshin. Au secours. Moult choses. Dans tous les cas, eh ben, il est 1h30 pile. Pile 1h30, c'est magnifique. Je vais aller lire un peu, peut-être... Non, j'ai pas encore fini Outlander, je vais pas en finir ce soir. Mais bon. En tout cas, j'ai toujours le plaisir de faire des conclusions avec le perso qui parle tout seul en réplique, alors que le garde du village vient de pop derrière moi. Bizarre. Mais du coup, bonne nuit à tous. À la prochaine. Ça a été sympa, on a eu plein de dialogues, mais c'était cool. Donc des bisous à la prochaine. Allez, salut.